Hi guys, so welcome to my channel and thanks for the support that you guys have been giving me. So today I wanted to tackle a question that I've been asked a lot. Like, how did I go from a door-knocking Jehovah's Witness to a proselytizing atheist? Maybe proselytizing was just in my genes. Anyway, so how did I move from a Jehovah's Witness all the way to being an atheist? So, one thing you need to know, guys, is that, you see, being a Jehovah's Witness, I believed I had the truth. I had been taught that I had the truth. We have the truth from God Himself. So, and it was our duty to tell this truth to other people. So the thing is, how do you move from one side to the other side? You see, being a Jehovah's Witness is hard because, first of all, you're discouraged from viewing other materials, that is, especially material from ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. As I previously said, these guys are referred to as apostates, and Jehovah's Witnesses fear them. Just to give you a glimpse of what Jehovah's Witnesses leadership has to say about these guys, let me just show you a clip from David's plane. This guy is a member of the governing body. The governing body is like the people who make policies. Think of this. It's like, you see, the Roman Catholic have the Pope. So Jehovah's Witnesses have 8 people in New York who are like the Pope collectively. These are the guys who make the rules, who make the doctrines. They call the governing body. So just watch this clip. Notice how he references apostates.
Jude is not warning his brothers about High Priest Ananias or about persecution. He has something else in mind, a different type of attack, and this is a sneaky one. Let's look at verse 4, and we'll see why he wrote his letter. Notice the very first words, "My reason is." So this is what I have in mind when I'm writing you, brothers. My reason is that certain men have slipped in among you who were long ago appointed to this judgment by the Scriptures. So Jude is talking about false brothers who are presenting a real danger to the congregations, in some ways a greater danger than outright persecution. And did you notice what Jude said about those false brothers? They had slipped in. They were sneaky. Now, that was true back then, and it's true today, as we'll see. And brothers, this is a very serious matter that we're considering today. Think of this. Was the Christian congregation brought down by persecution in the 2nd and 3rd centuries? It wasn't. It was brought down by false brothers, apostate teachings. And so the devil can use an outright attack. He can use persecution to try to batter the structure of the Christian congregation, but sometimes he uses rot from within, a subtle means to attack us. But whatever method he uses, we have to fight. Our faith is involved, and our faith is worth fighting for.
See, it's funny how he says even he would rather persecution than apostates. That's how much they fear apostates and they view them negatively. So for me, apostate material was off. I couldn't look at it. Yeah, there was a time I did try, but I tried looking at it, but I just couldn't. You see, because of this label that they had been given, that these guys are actually helping Satan to do his will. So I couldn't look at apostate material. But then later, what happened recently, or when I woke up, was that I landed on some YouTube page called Messed Up Bible Stories. It actually has a series. So, number one, that series did nothing to me. I could actually rebut them using my JW apologetics. JW, that means Jehovah's Witnesses. I could rebut it using my JW apologetics. So, after that, but it got me curious. What do atheists actually believe? And are there atheists who have actually read and understood the Bible? So, going through that search, I landed to a guy called Dark Matter. He made some videos. So, watching his videos, I actually saw one on Samson. and I started having a few questions. But then when I reached the Noah's Ark video, that devastated me. As a Jehovah's Witness, I believed that the Noah story actually happened. So he brought out some things, and to be honest, I couldn't rebut it. Not even with my best JW apologetics. Trust me, I had read a lot, even on the Insight book. Jehovah's Witnesses know what that is. It's a book that they explain, and they have all these charts trying to show why Noah's story is true, but I could not. So it kind of made me think, are there any atheists who are Jehovah's Witnesses before but then convert later to atheism? And that's how I landed on a channel called TellTale. TellTale was actually a Jehovah's Witness. So when I heard what TellTale said, he said that he stopped fearing the Watchtower organization when he read Deuteronomy 18:22. So later he told me he took this verse from another channel called John Cedar's channel, or currently Lloyd Evans' channel. But he mentioned Deuteronomy 18:22. Remember, that time I still believed in the Bible. And this is what Deuteronomy 18:22 has to say. This is the New World Translation. This is the copy used by Jehovah's Witnesses. So I just want to read from it. Deuteronomy 18:22. It says, "When the prophet speaks in the name of Jehovah, and the word is not fulfilled or does not come true, then Jehovah did not speak that word. The prophet spoke it presumptuously. You should not fear him." So when he said that, and actually I knew as a Jehovah's Witness there was some false predictions like 1914. So it actually gave me some precedence so that I can go further and look. Because this time now I had the scriptures to back me up. Initially I didn't have the scriptures to back me up. Now I had the scriptures to back me up. And that's how much I believed in the scriptures back then. So I started doing a couple of research. I started looking at some XJW channels, and also I actually started reading Crisis of Conscience. This is a book that was actually written by a guy who was a member of the governing body, that body that we said acts like the Pope. So he was a member of the governing body, but then left. So as I was doing some research, looking on XJW YouTube, that is XJW Critical Thinker, XJW Analyzer, slowly I could see. But then reading Crisis of Conscience is what truly opened my eyes. And within a few months I realized, hey guys, this is not the truth. This is not what I thought it was. So now from there, I was confused. I mean, what do I believe? What is truly true? I didn't even know where to begin. But then I still kind of believed in the Bible. So now I decided to take my critical thinking and also applied it to the Bible. And then you see I had read the Bible cover to cover before. And some questions that I had previously, they started coming up slowly by slowly. So I will do a video addressing those questions separately. So this is how I started watching Christians versus atheists debate. And slowly by slowly, I could see that the atheists were really making sense. And some of the questions that I really had, there were no answers for them. So that's how slowly by slowly I landed also on watching things like the Atheist Experience. And there I found a guy called Matt Delanty, and he really helped me to come to understand from an epistemological perspective why atheism is the default position that I should have. And slowly I was comfortable identifying as an atheist. So the main question now was how I relived JW. That was another long story, because all this time, actually I was still a JW. Ultimately, I was a JW, I was going to the meetings and everything. I hadn't even grown my beard, which is another thing that we'll talk about. But yeah, that is simply how I came out from believing to not believing and being an atheist. So thank you guys. Feel free to comment on the comment section below. Feel free to ask me questions on things you'd like me to address. Until next time, ciao, tuendelee kuongea.